Bonjour, y'all. Mike here. Happy New Year. 2020 is upon us. The roaring 20s are here. I was asleep when they came in because I have a hard time staying awake for the new year, but that's just me. Maybe you went out, had fun, stayed safe, enjoyed yourself, and here we are. 2020, can you believe it? My car still isn't flying. I'm a little disappointed, but that's okay. So I want to talk to you about something today because it's the new year. For all my French friends, pour mes amis français, attendre la fin pour une récapitulation. Can't say that word, but a recap. So we'll get there at the end. But for now, as some of you may or may not know, I don't like New Year's resolutions. I have a problem with them. And the problem is they're so easy to break. I mean, we talk about it all the time, breaking our New Year's resolution. And I think life's so much bigger than a resolution, right? I think there's so much more that we can do planning on going into the new year than just try to make a resolution, because a resolution typically picks one area, and that's the area that we're going to focus on, right, for the year. So we're going to say, I'm going to be healthier, I'm going to go to the gym. Like, that's the New Year's resolution. I'm going to go to the gym. And then, February comes and you still haven't gone to the gym, so you're like, I failed, and you move on. But what we like to do at our home is we like to pick a word, right? So we pick a word that we want to work on all year long. Now, the great thing about a word is it can encompass so many different areas of life. So I'm going to tell you about my word in just a second, but first I want to read to you from Philippians chapter 1, verses 21 through 24 real quick. And Paul writes, and he says, "For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. If I am to live in the flesh, that means fruitful labor for me. Yet which I shall choose, I cannot tell. I am hard pressed between the two. My desire is to depart and be with Christ, for that is far better, but to remain in the flesh is more necessary on your account." See, Paul understood this tension between going and staying, between the future and between now, between what he wants to do and what he is doing. Paul understood this tension, and I understand that tension as well. Now, my tension's not as great as the Apostle Paul, I don't think, but I understand that tension. See, I have a tendency to get preoccupied with the future. I have for whatever reason too, right? Like, could be my history, could be my personality, could just be my makeup. Like, I don't really know what it is. But and it doesn't really matter to me, because I understand that I have this tension between now and future. Like, when I look at myself, I see that. And I'm not crazy about that about myself, right? So this year, I'm choosing the word present. Right, because when I'm with God, I want to be present with God. When I'm with my wife, I want to be fully present with my wife. When I'm with my kids, I want to be present with my kids. When I'm talking to my friends, I want to be present with my friends and not distracted by other things. I want to be present. Because if you're not present in life, then what's the purpose, right? If you're always looking towards something else, what's the purpose? Now, that's hard for me, especially this upcoming year, because we're working on something with our organization that's really big, and I hope to be able to tell you what it is very soon and release some details and some information. But so I've got this new thing that we're working on. I've got my last semester of classes. We've got fundraising for this new thing. We've got all these things that we're doing, and there's a lot of demands being placed on me. So it's going to take even more work for me to be present, which is why I think this year I really need to focus on being present, because I've got too many other things trying to call for my attention. So last year I picked willing, and being willing opened up all sorts of doors. Now, I was willing to do hard things, right? Which, if you know me, it's really not really a stretch, but I was also willing to be told to do things differently. Like, I was willing for God to shake and rattle my plans. I was willing to be a better father, willing to be a better husband, willing to do whatever it took to be better in my relationships with people, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I wanted to be willing to grow and to change and to have my plans change and all these things. I needed to be willing. This year I need to be present, because that's what I think is going to be the hardest thing. But that's what I want for you. See, that's the whole purpose of this, is you pick a word that you can put into every box of your life. Because when 2020 ends, and it's going to end, like, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, it just started, but it's going to end. And before we know it, we're going to be standing here again saying, Happy New Year, 2021. and we're going to want to look back and know, what did we do? Now you can pick a resolution if you like. That's cool. You do whatever you like. But I think if we pick a word that we want to work on all year long, maybe you pick independence, and you want to be financially independent. There's a box you can check. You want to be independent from your past. You don't want to be chained to those things anymore. You want to be free from those. You want to be independent of that. You want to be more independent as a person. Maybe you rely on people too much. Maybe you're on drugs and you need to be independent. You need to be free from that. I don't know what it is, but you do. And God does. And if you don't know off the top of your head, you can go to prayer and God will reveal to you something that you can work on, because we all have things we can work on. Paul talks too about how he's not yet reached that place of maturity, but he's working towards it. So we've all always got things we can be working on. And that's what I want for you, is to just encourage you this year that when you go into the year, that you go purposefully into this new year. So pick something and work towards that thing. Now, the great thing, again, about a word, just a real quick thing about this, is that you can fail multiple times and it's cool. Like, in fact, the more you fail, the more I fail at being present, the more I'm going to see opportunities where I need to be present. And that's the great thing, is you don't fail. Like, you mess up, but it doesn't fail the whole picture. Like, you could not be present for a week, a month, and then go, hey, I missed out. And get back on it and keep growing, because we need to grow as people. So a Happy New Year, and that's just a thought. Maintenant, pour mes amis français, chaque année, ma famille et moi choisir un nouvel mot. L'année dernière, j'ai choisi volontaire ou prêt, peut-être prêt. Je voudrais être prêt pour tout ce que Dieu volontaire que j'ai fait. Je voulais être prêt et être humilié, père, mari et ami. C'était super. Cette année, j'ai choisi présent. Je voudrais être présent dans tout ce que j'ai fait. C'est dur pour moi, mais je pense que c'est bon. La vie est très très occupée, mais j'ai besoin d'être présent. Si je ne le suis pas, alors à quoi c'est certes. Je vous mets à défi de choisir un seul mot. Un seul mot pour travailler cette année. Un mot qui vous rapproche à Dieu, à grandir dans vos relations, à grandir et tant que personne. C'est juste une réponse. Au revoir.